Hello everyone, I'm Ollie, one of the marketing and CRM consultants here at HubGem. We specialise in HubSpot implementation for the education sector, and in this series I'm going to be outlining the AI features that HubSpot CRM offers and how we can use them. So we have quite a few videos in this series now. Our last one we looked at how to use HubSpot's Copilot AI to generate regenerate rather some of your content that you already have, your written content. So if you've written a nice paragraph inside of your blog, but you want it reworded or you want to make it maybe more concise, you can use Copilot to do so. Now, what we're going to be looking at in today's video is actually using Copilot to generate brand new content for you. And this doesn't just involve written content. This can be things like imagery and headings as well. Now, the tools in HubSpot where you can utilize Copilot for these functionalities is our website pages tool, our landing pages tool, our blog tool, our call to action or our CTA tool, as well as SMS if you are in a locale that supports it. So I'm going to go through 3 demos today. They're all pretty similar in terms of kind of what you can do, but of course these tools do vastly different things themselves. So the way you're going to use Copilot, of course, will differ between them. So one thing to note, just like before with the existing content, of course, we don't have to be inside of one of those tools in order to utilize Copilot. We have the option here on the main tab menu. We can click into Copilot. That will bring in our sort of chat pane and resize what you've got on the screen at the moment. And this is where you can go ahead and use any of those prompts that we've looked at in one of our previous videos as well to actually go ahead and create a brand new piece of content within this chat window here without necessarily being in, as you can see, one of the tools. We're just on a dashboard at the moment. So I'm not going to go through that. Check out that video if you want to have a look at how to use prompts and how to just use Copilot from any screen when it comes in to kind of do whatever you need it to do. What I will do is jump into three of the tools we'll demonstrate rather than sort of all 5. You'll get the picture very much sort of with the 3 that I've chosen for the video. And we're going to start off inside of landing pages. So here we are in landing pages. I'm starting to build my lovely school landing page here, and I want to add a some sort of image, let's say. Now, maybe we don't necessarily have the image, in our sort of stock images, or we don't, of course, want to go ahead and buy a load of stock images that might not be relevant for us from some sort of agency. With Copilot, we can now actually create images using AI, which is, of course, really powerful and really quick and easy, as we will find out. So if we want to go ahead and utilize the functionality we're talking about today, you do have to do that with inside of one of your rich text modules, which is why it's kind of limited to the tools that I mentioned at the start. So if we go ahead and grab our rich text module for our landing page here, and of course just place that in any of the location, of course, where you want that creation to happen. Of course, HubSpot inputs, some of its sort of generic text there, so we can get rid of that. And there are 2 ways we can kind of trigger Copilot to sort of do this for us here. So as long as we're clicked inside of that rich text module here, we can go and navigate to our top bar with all of our text editing and font options and emojis and pictures, and we'll have the Copilot logo here. If we click into that, this is where we can see what we can actually generate with Copilot, and of course jump to Copilot settings that we looked at in our very first video in this series as well. So we can go ahead and generate a heading, an image, a paragraph, or a subsection for our landing page here. Now, like I said, I want to go ahead and make an image here, but what you can also do rather than navigating to the top menu is if you are again clicked inside of your rich text module, you can just do your / and it actually brings up that same menu within your sort of text box there as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit image, and what that will do is bring in the AI image generator here from the right hand side. So the first thing you'll have to do here, of course, is to describe what you want the AI to actually produce. So let's just do something like a classroom. Of course, you can be much more descriptive than that, or you can just give it 1 word. And then you can also choose the style of the kind of how it creates the artwork. And it gives you sort of examples here for all of these different versions, kind of what it will turn out like. So if you want something very specific, of course you can sort of get a bit of a preview and define what that will look like. Or you can also let the AI decide, and it will kind of just do that based on the prompt itself. You've also then got dimension options. So of course you can sort of specify if you want this to be square, landscape, or portrait. So maybe we'll go for landscape just to kind of cover the width of our landing page here. We'll go ahead and press generate. What that will do is generate sort of 2 images that you can then of course choose from. You can of course use both if you really like both. We could put both of them in here. As you can see, one of them is done and it looks like a pretty typical classroom, and there's the second one as well. So this is totally sort of AI generated. Like I said, this is not a photo that someone's taken that it's just sort of searched through and pulled up. It has generated this using its AI models. So if we went ahead and asked it to generate again, we would kind of not get the same image twice, if you like. You'll also see when we hover over each of these, we have some options. So if we wanted to, we could go ahead and actually edit this image further in Adobe Express. We could just simply crop or resize the image if it's a little bit too big, or you want to take out some sort of element of detail. And you've also got that thumbs up and thumbs down just to give feedback to HubSpot whether or not the AI is doing a good job, just like we saw with some of the text prompts as well. Now, if we wanted to use one, or maybe wanted to actually save both of them, depending on which one you sort of tick up the top here, and again, we can tick both if we wanted to, you'll see the option to save this image to files. So you could use the AI generation tool for imagery, just to create an image you want to save and use later. Or of course, if you kind of don't want it saved, or you don't want to use it again, but you do want to use it for this particular landing page that we have here, we can go ahead and actually insert that image. So as you can see, that has now been inserted into our landing page. Of course, that is probably a little bit bigger than we wanted it to be. So of course, we can sort of resize it as we need to. And of course, if we wanted to sort of crop it down and remove some of those details, we can still do that from within the tool as well. So let's move on to having a look at blogs and how we can actually generate some text content using Copilot within that tool. So here we are inside of one of my blogs. Of course, with blogs, you get that sort of rich text element there by default. So you don't have to go and sort of pull in that element. It'll always kind of be there within blogs, because of course, writing a blog, that is the module that we need. So we can go ahead and click into that and do just like we did last time, either using the / or navigating up to the Copilot logo up top here. And let's say we want to go ahead and actually generate a paragraph. Copilot will come in. It'll ask us, of course, what do you want this paragraph to sort of be about? And let's just sort of following the title we have there on our blog post, we'll go with, how to effectively, let's go with write a blog post and get some text on that sort of guidance on how to create a great blog post. What you'll see there is now Copilot has generated that text from scratch. We've not given it any, we've not highlighted any text, not given it anything to sort of go on other than our one prompt there, which was a pretty basic prompt as well. And it's gone ahead and given us a decent paragraph there. Writing an effective blog post begins with understanding your audience and their needs, and so on. Just like we've seen previously in other videos, it will let us know if our brand voice has been applied, that we can do in settings. And of course, you can either insert this directly into your body of text and use it, basically just a copy and paste. We can ask it to refine this more. Maybe we want this to be longer, shorter, or maybe we want it to rewrite it in a different way. So maybe we want it to be more funny or more engaging. And we can also go ahead and just copy that to our clipboard as well, along with our thumbs up or thumbs down. Again, just for feedback really to HubSpot. So I'm happy with that. We'll go ahead and insert it. Everything is just sort of written is now in there. As you can see, we've now started off our blog post. Like we looked at in the previous sort of episode as well, if we were to highlight what it's created, we could go actually ahead and ask it to refine that further as well after the fact. So we've still got that option that we explored in the last video, even with the text it's created here from scratch for us as well. So finally, we'll go into our call to actions tool, just have a look at what we could do within that one as well. So we're inside of our CTAs. I've gone ahead and created the basic sort of elements for a new pop-up that I want to include on our website. So I've got my logo, I've got a button on here, but I need some sort of text. I need to sort of define, what we're trying to achieve here. So again, I'll pull in my rich text module from the left-hand side and clear all of the sort of default text that HubSpot gives us. Remove all of that. And this is where, just like we looked at again, we can use that / or or of course we can go up into the generate logo in the top bar. You'll see here on CTAs the image has disappeared, so we've only got heading, paragraph, or subsection that we can use here. But of course, if we had previously created an AI image, we could just drag in the image module and choose that one as well. So let's say we want to go ahead and make a heading. What kind of heading would you like? Let's just say a lovely school, just to kind of give our our pop-up here a nice nice heading. What is the purpose? What are we kind of showing our audience? So as you can see there, it's generated that text. Discover our charming school community, and again, if it it kind of lets us know whether or not that's applied the brand voice and gives us that link to change that if we wanted to. Again, we can refine and copy and give that thumbs up or thumbs down feedback, but we'll go ahead and insert that heading into our call to action here. And then as you can see, that has now pasted our heading in there, where we can go ahead, of course, and still come in and edit that. So maybe we want to, of course, align that to be the middle. And then there we go. We've got our nice heading there generated from scratch using Copilot. So there you go. That is all for this video. Hope you found it useful and informative as always. And if you want to learn any more about HubSpot, or of course how we can actually help you implement these types of features within the education sector, then the links that you're going to need will be either on this post or in the description. So bye for now.